Hey Capricorn, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. For this series of readings, I wanted to find out what your person's secret was. What is it they're not telling you? What is it they're not doing? What is it you need to know that you don't know? Keep in mind, energies can be reversed. So as I get through this reading, you may hear a few things and say, actually, that's my situation. Perfectly fine. Again, like I said, we read energy. I don't always know, but I am reading it as if it is your person's energy. But like I said, it can be swapped. You do not have to have Capricorn as a sun sign, a moon sign, a Venus sign, or a rising sign. Capricorn can be anywhere in your chart. And if you don't have Capricorn in your chart and you're drawn to this reading, there is a message here for you. So let's start off. So Capricorn, the token that came out for you was the keyhole. That landed on the family. This token for keyhole is basically about find your key to move forward. So your person is currently in another family dynamic. I want to say, just a soulmate of some sort. I'll get into it when I get into the clarification cards, but this is definitely more related towards romantic. And so they're currently dealing with another person that was, I want to say it was a soulmate that they were supposed to learn a lesson from, and vice versa. Their person was supposed to learn a lesson from them. So let's get into the clarification so I can explain some more of this to you. When I clarified the keyhole, we ended up with the trash card. So this is disregarding and throwing out. We ended up with pretending, fake, living beyond means, and karmic. Third party relationship lesson. Okay. So as I was saying, clearly your person is still dealing with another party that is a karmic relationship. And I know karmic sounds like a bad word, but it's actually, we all have karmics and we are all a karmic to somebody else, right? We all have our soul tribes we belong with. We have soulmates that we belong with. And then we have the soulmates that we actually need to learn lessons from. And some of those lessons can be really tough. They can be really hard to get away because we have such a strong connection to that other person. And your person is dealing with somebody that is putting up a bit of a front in front of them. So it's almost as if they're realizing that the connection isn't as strong as they thought it was. There might be some realization of some distance between your person and that other person. And so your person with the keyhole is supposed to be learning the lesson. And I don't want to say trash, right? That sounds really harsh, or throwing out or disregarding, but more along the lines of moving on, learning the lesson and moving on. That's really what we're supposed to be doing when we do come across soulmates that are teaching us lessons. And some of them are very hard lessons, and we will go back to that same person, 2, 3, 4 times. I'll raise my hand. I've done it before in my younger years. Yes, I had a very strong connection with a karmic partner that I was supposed to learn a lesson from. And it took me 10 years, but even there was still some residue for a few years even after that. So I get it. They're tough. They're not this, you go out on a date and you link up and then you're dating for, a month or 2 months or even 3 months. And then you're like, I don't know, this person's just not for me, whether it's, you say to yourself, boy, they're a little bit of a cluster, they don't have goals. We don't see eye to eye on certain things, just whatever you see in that person that you feel just doesn't match you, then, you both can kind of like go your separate ways, right? This is not that connection. This is a connection that was, a little bit more of a difficult lesson, and they're a little bit more difficult to get away from. So understandable. When I clarified the pretending, I wanted to know more about what that person was kind of wearing a mask about and not being open and showing who they are, or really more along the lines of taking the mask off and seeing the relationship for what it is. So we ended up with trapped. This is like the stuck, locked down, mental prison, captive. And muse. So this is inspired by you listening to music, emotional bond, song lyrics. So that other person, when dealing with your person, is pretty much trying to keep your person in a trapped, locked down kind of, I want to say mental, more or less, pulling out the emotional, bond, right? It could be more of a codependency emotional bond. I'll get into why I say that when I tell you about when I clarified the karmic card. But this person's actually trying to, keep your person locked to them in some sort of like emotional bond, whether they're being emotionally manipulative, whether they mean to or not. Sometimes people get desperate and they'll just say anything because they just don't want to let go of that person, and they, want to keep them trapped. You see how this girl's got her hand up against like a window, trapped inside of a house, not able to get out. And so sometimes people can use emotions to do that. They emotionally manipulate. Whether, like I said, whether they know they're doing that or not, it happens, okay? When I clarified trash, we ended up with ghost. So this is leaving behind, disappearing, cold, no contact. So that's what your person is supposed to be currently doing with this third party karmic person. That is a lesson. So that's why I say trash is kind of harsh. That's why I wanted to clarify it more. And really they should be, stopping the contact, turning a little cooler, and trying to, slowly, but surely leave this person behind, right? It's almost like this person's searching inside the house to find the key to unlock the door. It's almost like it's a door that's locked from the inside. Your person is inside with the other person inside this house, and they're trying to find the keys so they can unlock the door and release themselves, right? And your person can certainly do that. Everybody has free will. But your person's probably struggling because of the emotional connection, bond, and this person holding on tightly, you know, pulling out the stops and doing what they can, you know, oh, woe's me, I need help, or, you know, I need this, I need you, don't leave me, I won't be able to survive without you. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of emotional manipulation, pretty much saying anything and everything to keep this person in place. When I clarified the karmic, we ended up with finality. So this is differences, divorce, breakup, not looking back. Okay. So like I was saying, you know, this is a lesson for your person. They do need to cut the ties, make it final, you know, break it off and don't look back, right? The ghost, you know, move on, no contact. Because if you have contact, then you're allowing this person to pull out the emotional, you know, oh, you're my person, blah, 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 that kind of thing. And then we had soulmates, right? But that came out in the reverse. It flew out in the reverse. So if it's in the upright, this is the one, deep love, spiritual connection, life partner, okay? In the reverse, this is not a life partner. This is not a soul, you know, connection that is supposed to last. We have lots of soulmates that come into our lives, whether they're platonic, as in co-workers, family, friends. Yes, they can be romantic partners. They are soulmates that, you know, come into our lives. They're in our lives for a certain amount of time, but they're not supposed to stay. And that's because you and that other person have different paths, right? Not everybody's going where you're going, right? Just like you're not going everywhere other people are going. We all have our own journeys. We all have our own paths. We all sign contracts before we're born. So there's certain people that are supposed to come across our paths from past lifetime to come into this lifetime to see if we're going to learn that lesson. If we don't learn that lesson, catch you in the next lifetime. And if you don't learn then, we'll catch you back in the you know, next lifetime after that lifetime. So the purpose of us coming across soulmates, whether they're romantic or platonic or family members, is to learn lessons so we don't carry over that karmic energy into the next lifetime. That's the whole purpose of this. So this person's not their person. So they've got to find the key that fits the keyhole so they can move forward. They can unlock the door, free themselves, and go where they need to be. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to explain. There was another card that came out. This was drastic. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Most of the time 3 cards were coming out, but for you it was 4. So this is drastic. This is extreme, harsh, cutoff. Okay, and so your person's having difficulty with cutting off this karmic, as I was, you know, mentioning, because there's emotional manipulation, you know, connected to emotions. Okay, so your person might be an empath that, you know, feels for people. So if somebody knows how to put on a good show, they're going to automatically feel empathetic and feel sorry for them. And that's a lesson they need to learn, is you can only feel sorry for somebody for so long. If they're not willing to do what they need to do to get themselves right and corrected, then that's their problem. That's when you're going to have to, at some point, be harsh and cut this person off. When I clarified the drastic, we ended up with bottled up. So this is illusions, keeping things inside, not opening up, and deception. So the reason this person needs to do a, you know, just a cutoff with the no contact, right? Just ghosting this person. And I don't really mean ghosting. They really should just end it and then do the ghosting, right? And then cut off and no contact and just disappear and not give this person an opportunity to come back in and emotionally manipulate, right? Don't give them the opportunity to do it. So, you know, your person, you know, needs to cut off the illusions of this karmic situation because of, you know, the pretending. This is not real. Their person's wearing a mask and not showing who they truly are, because they want to hold on to them and keep them trapped and not allow them to go outside that door, such as the Fool taking that journey, that leap of faith into something new. They want to keep them trapped inside the house, which all we know is like being in prison. You don't do that. People have free will. They need to be able to be free to be who they are and go on the path that is meant for them. And your person's, you know, bottling up all this, you know, emotion and illusion and deception. They're bottling all this up because it's, you know, I feel that they're at a point, they know they need to do something, but they're at a loss. And so what's happening is the universe is making these lessons for this person a little bit more difficult, right? So the universe is putting pressure down on them to make them realize, okay, if you're not going to let this go, we're going to make this situation and scenario a little bit more uncomfortable for you. So we're going to start pushing down on you, putting more weight, more heaviness to make you crack. And you don't want to get to that point. You want to be able to get away from something in a healthy time frame, because it's worse when the universe puts that pressure on you, because then you become like a volcano, right? When you're all bottled up, like this guy, you know, you could explode like a volcano, and that's not healthy. You don't want to do that. You want to walk away from something when you realize you should be walking away from it and not remaining stuck behind four walls with this person emotionally manipulating them, only because they don't want that person to go off and take their life path that they're meant to take. They want to keep them held down. Okay, so I wanted to know more about this particular family member, this person that's not really a soulmate or a life partner, not really a deep love. I was like, so tell me more about this person. And we ended up with the Star card, Aquarius energy. We ended up with the Two of Wands. We ended up with the Eight of Pentacles. Okay. So what's happening is this other person, this third party karmic person, is trying really hard to try and heal and reconcile with your person, okay? And with the Eight of Pentacles, you know, they're trying, it's like their main focus, right? Their main focus is to try and reconcile and heal with your person, because they, I'm pretty sure, feel that they are ready to walk out that door and go a different path. Okay, so the Two of Wands is about taking, it's two separate paths. And so the karmic, I mean, we could say, you know, Aquarius, you know what I mean? I don't know who they are. So I don't know if I should just say other person or karmic. I feel bad saying karmic, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, anyway, so there's two paths your person can take, right? The Two of Wands is legitimately two paths. Like I said, you know, we all take our own paths, and they want to keep them stuck to their path, right? Locked in that house with them, and they're going to, you know, try and heal, but everything with them trying to heal is not legitimate, okay? Because they're already wearing a mask. And I wanted to try and dig in even a little bit more. And I asked again, tell me more about this specific person, family member, third party karmic, however you want to put it. Please give me some details on this person. Is it a friend? Is it just give me some more. And we ended up with the Hanged Man, Pisces energy, the Eight of Swords, Strength, okay? And I did another clarification on the Hanged Man, but I'll tell you in a second. So basically, this person's like using their strength in an incorrect way by keeping themselves willfully blinded to this situation and seeing and understanding that they're not this person. Your person is not their person, and they're keeping themselves blind to it. They're using all the strength they have to keep themselves blinded, and with the Hanged Man, to not get a real perspective of the situation. They're refusing it, right? They're using their strength to not look at the situation. They don't want to see it. They only want what they want for God knows what reason. Like I said, it could be codependency, and they depend on your person's, emotions to make them feel happy. But they're not willing to get a correct perspective on the fact that this is not the one for them. And when I clarified the Hanged Man, we ended up with the Four of Cups. They're not understanding that if they were to look at get a different perspective on the situation, take the blindfold off, use their power to take the blindfold off, to not be willfully blind to what this true situation is, they would actually see that them and your person, they're not connected. It's a disconnect between the two of them, and it's getting a different perspective. It's looking at the situation and understanding that it's not their person. But right now they're using strength in the wrong way. They're using their strength to blind themselves and not care about whether this is their true person or not. They don't care. They don't want to see anything other than their tunnel vision, right? You always want to be able to look at situations and people from all angles to evaluate the situation properly. This person is only looking at it from one angle, and it's like their illusion angle, right? They're wearing a mask. They don't even want to take their own mask off to realize that they're probably not even happy in this. Because if you're depending on somebody else for emotional stability, you're not happy with that person. And oh, by the way, you're really not happy with yourself. Until you're happy with yourself, you cannot be happy with anybody else. You're going to hear it. If you've heard it once, you've heard it twice, you're going to hear it 1,000,000 times. It is the truth. The only person that can make themselves happy is themselves, to be at peace with themselves and to be able to move on in life, not having attachments, emotional detachment. That emotion should be you. Two people can come together happily united and emotional, but they both have to be happy and emotional separately before they can come together and work as a couple, being on the same team. So I wanted to know how your person actually felt about the karmic. Because I just felt like with this reading, I wanted just to get more clear on, for you, to get a perspective on how your person feels about the karmic. And then I also clarified what is the energy between you, Capricorn, you and this person, right? Because I didn't want this to just all be about, your person and another person. Okay, I'm giving you perspective on it. I'm giving you some insight. But I also wanted to dig a little more for you to see where you came into play, for your own sake, right? So when I verified, or clarified, I guess I should say, and asked, how does Capricorn's person feel about this karmic? Well, we ended up with the Death card. We ended up with the Two of Swords in reverse. We ended up with the Queen of Pentacles. And we ended up with the Knight of Pentacles, okay? So this is telling me that your person legitimately feels like this is over. This is done. It's over. They're ready to release this situation with the karmic. They're ready, which is why I said I had a feeling that this person was inside the house looking for the key to unlock the door. They're trying to find that niche on how to get away from the karmic, move away, stay away, end it, no contact. It's probably a little easier said than done, and so they're in the process of doing that. They're ready to release this, and it's almost like they also realize that it wasn't the right choice. This wasn't with the Queen of Pentacles, this wasn't their long-term commitment. This wasn't their person. They're realizing this with the Two of Swords in reverse. They may have been in the Two of Swords in the upright for like a long time, but now it's in the reverse. They're starting to release this. They're starting to get the perspective. They're realizing this is not my situation, even though the other person doesn't see it yet. I think that's the key, is to get that karmic to understand, hey, I'm not your person, right? There's somebody else out there for you, right? Do your healing, and then you're going to find the person that fits you like a glove. And this took a long time with the Knight of Pentacles. Like this was a slow truth for your person to come to, and they're finally realizing it. But now it's like, crap, I gotta find the key to get out of this house. I gotta finally I gotta open the door, walk out, and not look back. Run to the sunshine, the fresh air, the happiness. Get out of that prison, that self-imprisonment. Not only are they in, but their person's trying to put them in. And then last, I used a different deck, and I wanted to know what the energy was between you and this person, your person. So the cards that came out were present and attracting. Okay. See this guy is sitting here in meditation pose, and the full moon is up in the sky. So it's almost like, manifestations. They're waiting for their manifestations to come in. You and your person are basically attracting each other. And the moon cycles might be actually pulling you two together, because the moon is feminine energy. It's about the gravitational pull. So I feel like you two are actually pulling and attracting each other towards each other. We have the Sun card, so this is the strength. The truth is being revealed, okay? Like I said, when you run outside of that house and you go out into the sunlight and you're seeing everything clearly, that's when the truth comes out, right? That this person has been affected by their past. Both of you have been, suffering from not being in each other's lives, okay? But again, like I said, it's not easy to get away from certain soulmates. They're strong soulmates that are difficult to get away from because the lessons are a little harder. We have Mercury, so we've got travel, we've got communication. So news, I feel like you two, if you're not already communicating, you will start communicating, possibly starting to either physically travel towards each other, emotionally travel towards each other, right? You got the nurture card. So this is, compassion, love. It's sincere feelings, two people who feel actually meant for each other, who can open up, all right, with the communication, message in a bottle, nurture each other, okay, showing the true feelings, the compassion, and wanting to actually genuinely take care of each other, not lock each other up in a house and throw away the key. No, it's saying, hey, sweetheart, love, you're allowed to go out that front door. You're allowed to take a trip. You're allowed to get out and get fresh air. I don't have to keep you chained to me because I already know that you and I have a connection. We are connected. I don't have to have a negative attachment that feels I need to keep you trapped and locked down. No, that's not what it's about. It's about loving without attachments, letting people be who they are, letting them still do things that make them happy. That's part of their journey. And then the family card came out. So remember I said the keyhole, finding the keyhole and family. So moving away, opening the door from the one family and moving towards the correct person that is their family, about a commitment, home, possible marriage, security. So you are their person. They're just still struggling, trying to get away from this karmic, which is not easy. It takes time. So let's get a time check for you on this, just out of curiosity, to see when we think this will finally be done with the karmic and you two can start actually moving towards each other. All right, Spirit, give me a time check, please, for Capricorn and their person. Oops. Okay. Oh, choo. Very soon. Very, very soon. Okay, so that's some of you. What else? Do we have any others here for the collective, please? Spirit. What else? Do we have any? In spring. Okay, so some of you are going to be about another year from now. I see this as next spring. Some of you probably already completed some of the lessons this past spring, and that's why it's saying very soon. Others of you still need another year where maybe they're realizing that this person is not for them. Like I said, we are on different timelines. Oops. Okay, some of you, that's a few weeks. This is too many. So a few weeks is probably what is the very soon, clarifying the very soon. All right. Is that it? Some of you might have a lot of birds surrounding you lately. Birds are messengers from spirits, your ancestor guides. So if you have a lot of birds around you, is that it? Okay. Oh, one more. And then some of you will be November in the fall time. But quite a few of you will be very soon, within a few weeks. And really, November, it's not that far off. If you think about it, time is flying. So really, there's probably just a handful of you who are just now beginning this process and will have to wait a year before the person you're dealing with is able to really wake up to the fact that the person they're dealing with is not their person, and then start actively moving away. Do we want to pull? Let's pull sacred symbols, a sacred symbol oracle, and we will close this out. Move some of these cards out of the way. Okay. All right. What do we have here, please, to wrap this up? Final message, final card for Capricorn, please. Okay. New moon. Didn't we just had a new moon. Why am I drawing a blank? New moon in, was it Gemini? Oh my God, no. What do we have? Why am I drawing a blank on this? I think maybe it was. It was on the 6th. I think it was Gemini. Yeah, Gemini. I don't know why I doubted myself. Yeah. So we just went through a new moon in Gemini. So this is why I'm feeling the majority of you. This is happening very soon, and this is card number 45. A new beginning, a fresh start, and an auspicious time to start new projects. Drawing this card invites you to begin again. Meditate on this at the new moon to bring new energy into your life. Write down a list of intentions, dreams, goals, and wishes to support new direction and invite in inspiration. I do. Remember I kept saying, where's that card? I'm a mess over here. Remember I kept saying, I feel like you two pull each other in around, you know, the full moons, and this person's meditating, and that you two were attracting each other. I do. I feel like during the new moon, you two were probably manifesting each other, not necessarily the new moon in Gemini. It could be for some of you who are a year out before this happens, but I feel that you are probably manifesting each other during the new moon, and then during the full moons, really with the climax, pulling each other in, and that's what's kicking this off to make it so strong to come together, which is beautiful. So I know it's, you know, not the most exciting reading because your person is still trying to learn their lesson and move away from a karmic, but it is happening for many of you right now. So I hope this was helpful. Much love and light. I will talk to you soon.